All right, so we're supposed to define the variable, and then we're going to translate the sentence into an inequality. All right, so the average attendance is less than 15,000. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, let's say X is equal to the average attendance, and it's less than 15,000. So that means X is less than 15,000. That's all they asked for. Define the variable. That's the first thing we have to do. And then translate it into an inequality. That's our second thing. So not too hard. All right, so let's go to another one. So 34 says state the linear inequality whose graph is given in the figure. Write the boundary line equation in the form ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integers before stating the inequality. All right, well, what do we have here? So on 34, it looks like we're going down one. So here our b is equal to a -1. Now we need to know the slope. So it looks like if we go up one, right two, so our slope is equal to 1 over 2. All right. Now this one is not equal to on the boundary. So this one is below it, so it's going to be less than. So we can say y is less than, and now our slope is 1/2 times x, and our intercept is -1. Now, they want it into this form, so what we have to do is we have to do a little work. First, let's multiply and get rid of that denominator. So let's multiply the whole thing by 2. So then we get 2y is less than x and then -2. Now we need to take the x over here, so we get a minus x, a minus x. So we get a minus x plus 2y is less than a -2. Okay. Now we could change it a little bit because it doesn't have any requirements for a, but sometimes we like a's to be positive. And so what we could do is we could multiply through the whole thing by a negative. And so we could say a -x plus 2y less than -2. Let's multiply that whole thing by -1, which gives us x minus 2y. Remember, we have to switch the sign, and that's going to be greater than 2. So that's one version. That's another version. Again, depending depending on if you want that to be a positive or the negative. All right. So what about this one? Well, this one is just a vertical line. And so that's going to be normally, if it was just that line, it's going to be x is equal to what? A -2. So we're going to have x, but it's going to be less than that. So we're going to say less than, and it's just a -2. Now that's all we can do. That's as good as it gets. That's just going to be our ax is going to be less than a -2. There's no y's in there, so b is equal to 0 in this case. And so that would be as far as we could go on this actual example. All right, let's stop with those and we'll come back for some more.